What's up and welcome back to the channel. Well, in today's video, we're going to talk about 5 things that you need to avoid on Pinterest in 2022. Basically, I have been watching a lot of Pinterest influencer videos and it's really disheartening that they are sharing the same tips and tricks which are outdated in fact, and it's not going to take you anywhere. So in case or if you actually love your Pinterest account and you don't want it to end up into a spam position or a shadow banned one, please keep on watching this particular video till the end. Not exactly a fun fact, but 99% of Pinterest accounts which get into spam or shadow banned are not being able to recover. My account got shadow banned a while ago, and thankfully it was for the wrong reasons, and Pinterest unblocked my account and it just gave it back to me, which was a really great feeling. In case if you're looking out, or if your friend or influencer is looking out for that particular help, I have a separate video that I have created for that particular situation or that query altogether. You can go ahead and check out it in my playlist section. Without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and start this particular video. However, if you're new to the channel or watching my pretty face for the first time, please consider subscribing to the channel. This channel is all about digital marketing, stock photography, passive income, and social media marketing tips. Let's start. Tip number 5. You need to stop repinning the same old creators or the same old images that you have actually went ahead and pinned on Pinterest. There was an era, or there was a time altogether where Pinterest back in 2018 or 2019, when Pinterest actually used to encourage the creators to go ahead and repin their same pins. For instance, if I went ahead and pinned a certain pin in the month of November, I would go ahead and repin it back to a different board altogether in the month of December. However, this is 2022 that we're sitting into, and Pinterest doesn't encourage it anymore. I'm not saying that the links cannot be different. The links, of course, can be the same. But the image that goes on your Pinterest pin has to be different one. It is a mandate. Tip number 4. So there was again a year where Pinterest actually used to have or recommend you to have a balance about your pins and the other creators' pins altogether. However, that is not a mandate anymore. You don't need to go ahead and mandatorily pin other creators' pins. It's basically, if you ask me about a ratio, I will be saying that it is an 80-20 ratio altogether, when I consider saving or creating or publishing my own pins for 80% of time, and go ahead and save other creators' pins for 20% of time. To make it a bit clear, or to make it a bit more easier, I'm gonna say that consider Pinterest as a learning platform. If you are going ahead and gaining some knowledge or learning something out of it, only then go ahead and save that particular pin. Otherwise, it would be very different. If I know it is enticing on Pinterest when you come across a lot of pins which has a very intriguing line altogether, like the headers or the copy that goes on the image. However, I would highly suggest that go ahead and read that particular article, because half of the time users do not read the articles wherein you will find the same old tips or tricks that you already know. As I mentioned earlier, people are sharing the same things, but I would really recommend you to go ahead and read those particular articles. If you are finding those articles helpful, trust me, your audience is going to find that particular article helpful, and that's how you're going to get more followers, more engagement, more impressions, and so on and so forth. Tip number 3. Less is more. What I mean about that is basically, there was a time again when Pinterest used to ask users to go ahead and pin at least 30 pins on a daily basis or 50 pins on a daily basis. However, it has ridiculously went down, and now Pinterest only recommends to go ahead and add 3 to 5 pins on a maximum on a daily basis. However, the criteria is the pins should be fresh pins. When I say fresh pins, the images needs to be new. They are not supposed to be something that you have already pinned on your Pinterest account or someone has already pinned on their Pinterest account. I've seen a lot of creators do this strategy as well in order to just grab their attention, but it is not going to land up on a long-term success. Wherein there is a really great website that I follow about social media blogs, And I have seen a lot of users going ahead and just stealing those particular pins and making their own, uploading them as their own pins, which is really ridiculous. And you can't expect your traffic, or you can't expect users to engage with your particular pins if you do this kind of things. So go ahead and create 3 to 5 pins, quality pins, of course. Fresh pins, another factor. The links, again, I'm repeating the same, I know that, but then the links could be the same. However, your images needs to be different. It has to be eye-grabbing, eye-catchy, and something that makes your audience grab their attention. Tip number 2. So monthly views do not matter. I have seen this with a lot of Pinterest creators and a lot of my friends as well, who are small influencers just like me. Monthly views do not count. You can actually have 4 million monthly views altogether. However, what counts is basically how many people of those 4 million are clicking on your pin or saving them. That is what is the metric, and that is what is gonna drive you traffic, or that is what is going to get you more reach on Pinterest. So monthly views definitely don't count. The way I look at it, or the way I look at increasing or improving my analytics on Pinterest, is basically focus on the number of saves that you get, focus on the number of clicks that you get on Pinterest, and focus on how are people interacting. Are they reacting? Are they loving your pins? Are they not liking your pins? Are they disliking your link altogether, or so on and so forth? That's what the matrix are, and those are the matrix that you need to actually go ahead and follow or focus on in terms of understanding whether your Pinterest account is growing or not. Again, I'm gonna repeat it, monthly views do not count. They can be just because of one certain pin or one particular pin that has just went viral. But if it has went viral, people are looking at it, but they are not saving it. So there is no point or there is no benefit that you're gonna get out of it. That's a simple thing. That brings me to the tip number 1. That is the most important one. Pinterest is not a social media platform anymore. It's a search engine. So you need to go ahead and try and optimize every pin, every board, every title, every description as per the SEO. I have seen people going ahead and uploading or publishing their pins in terms of, let's say, hypothetically, 10 reasons to go ahead and do this in terms of the titles, 10 reasons to go ahead and do SEO, or 10 reasons you can boost your SEO. No one is going to search for those. Why would someone search for 10 reasons to go ahead and? You need to go ahead and optimize your pin titles, your descriptions based on a query. It's a search engine. It is not a social network, as I said already. People are going to find queries on Pinterest. How to make a pitch presentation, what to include in a social media pitch presentation, what to include in a social media strategy altogether. That's how people search things on Pinterest. So you're not supposed to actually start your titles with the numbers. I'm not saying that's bad. It's great because Pinterest works on a listicle favoring manner altogether. That's something that I have observed. Like, for instance, if you have a lot of listicles mentioned on your same image, it has a highly, it highly ranks for a person to go ahead and save that particular image or that particular pin altogether. However, your titles are supposed to be in terms of a query. How to rank, how to do this, how to do that. That is how you're supposed to optimize your Pinterest pin titles and descriptions. While when you're writing in terms of descriptions, I have also seen people saying or putting up some random things altogether, which is not search engine optimized. I mean, you can't just say that first thing this, second thing that, third thing this. No, you need to go ahead and fill up your description of the pin as well in a human manner. When I say human manner, create a particular short paragraph or two to go ahead and make your user understand what that particular pin is all about. And I'm also going to give one tip over here, that please try and avoid adding hashtags in your descriptions, because Pinterest doesn't favor that. There was again a time where you could go ahead and search the pins through hashtags, and the description, the hashtags in the description were important for that one, but not really anymore. So don't waste the character limits on your description, on the Pinterest pin description. Just go ahead and say what exactly it's all about, or give a short gesture altogether, but it has to be a human factor. There has to be a human factor mentioned in it, because that's how Pinterest or any particular search engine works. If you're gonna go ahead and add a robotic language over there, saying that, for instance, 5 ways to do search engine optimization is your title, and your description says that number 1 is do this, number 1 is number 2 is basically off-page SEO, number 3 is on-page SEO, and so on and so forth, it's not gonna work out. So SEO is the key. That was my first and the primary take, and that is the most important one, trust me. Alright, so I don't think that you need to actually think how to grow on Pinterest in 2022 anymore. I just shared my 5 secret tips and 5 updates which are official by Pinterest themselves to go ahead and avoid your account to get shadow banned or spam. I don't know, let me know in the comment section how did you find this particular video. If you found it helpful, guys, please go ahead and hit the like button, and if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing to the channel. That would just encourage me to create more and more such videos. Also, please let me know in the comment section if you are having some doubts, because when I started with Pinterest, there were so many doubts in my head, which I have actually come across and figured out myself. But I would really love to help you guys, so let me know in the comment section. That's about from my end. I'll be coming back and sharing some more tips and tricks regarding some social media things, or stock photography, or passive income. Stay tuned to the channel, keep watching the channel, and keep